Hello, everybody. This is Marnie Bailey with CXO-Cockpit. I'm joined today by my colleague, Jeroen, and we thank everybody for your time as we go through our webinar, Enabling Compliance with Digital Performance Reporting. Just a couple housekeeping items. If there are any questions during our presentation and also our demonstration, please feel free to use the question area. We'll try to get to all of those questions as quickly as possible. We also will follow up with a link to this webinar in case you'd like to review it once again. So just a quick question then to everybody out in the audience. Tell me, what do these companies have in common? Now, some of these logos might look familiar. Some are way back in the days as well, too. But unfortunately, all of these logos were part of an issue, and that was with not having proper compliance with their financial reporting. It resulted in, obviously, the demise of Enron, and MCI will come as well, too. But one thing to note is that there was 1,000 companies that restated all their financial statements during that time frame, and over $6 trillion of stock value disappeared almost instantaneously. So why should a company increase internal controls? Well, there's a couple reasons for that. And one in particular, especially if you are a USA-based organization or you operate in the USA, is because of Sarbanes-Oxley. And again, the other logos that you saw were a part of why Sarbanes-Oxley came into fruition. But really, Section 302 and 404 are very important to any company. 302 says that any signing officer will be responsible for all internal controls within inside of an organization. And then Section 404 says procedures for financial reporting controls and their effectiveness must be monitored and then also periodically inspected and improved over time as well, too. So again, for all companies operating in the USA, very important to make sure your internal controls are in place. Secondly, let's talk about corporate stewardship. So the success of your business pretty much depends on your public image. And when a company starts facing compliance issues, well, the general public will lose their trust in your company, sales in the products will decline, and service will eventually drop. Compliance really ensures that your company can uphold a positive image and build consumer trust. But then we also see that higher productivity happens with inside companies that have really strong internal controls. And it's important for that because it ensures that employees are satisfied, all complaints or issues are monitored and addressed properly. And the productivity increases, especially since those employees know exactly what they should be doing during the day's activities. So what is digital advantages in reporting? So CXO-Cockpit actually offers a platform that offers businesses and finance end users secure and controlled access to their performance reports. Really anywhere, anytime. It's digitizing all of the processes that make up your financial reports. So we technically eliminate all of the Excel spreadsheets that are out there and reduce all of those error-prone manual manipulations and the disconnected data. So it's one source to be able to provide to your entire audience. It's a trusted source, and it's also very compliant as well, too. When we talk about digital growth, there was some recent research that happened with MIT Sloan, and they found out, and I don't want to really read everything here, but you can see that companies that outperformed their peers in their industry because of inside control features and all that, really produced even higher than some of their peer group as well. So we have had the ability to actually work with a lot of well thought out enterprises that operate globally. And you can see from this list here, with just notably Facebook, Experian and all, that all of these companies and even more actually went through a digital transformation. They wanted to foster all of their activities in more of an automated fashion. And so we were a part of their transition, but they really could see some benefits from that. And the big one was centrally controlling all of the data where everybody would work from the same data. Now, I know I always ask this question, but I've heard many times that going into management meetings and everybody has their own data information, 20 minutes of that meeting could be spent arguing about where is that data, where did you get that data, and which one is actually true. So technically what we see out there with traditional financial reporting is we see that it starts with that valid information, those source systems, the systems that have all of your financial information. But it's this middle area that we see that there's a lot of manual manipulation, there's Excel spreadsheets, there's maybe conjoining of different systems as well too, to finally get to a reporting pack. Now, what if we could actually take all that information and automate it? Because the issues that we have is that all of this process, especially in the middle, becomes disconnected. Maybe data duplication. Somebody changed the formula. We forgot to change it back for the next month. So a lot of errors happen. We find it's very, very inefficient as well too. And then on top of that, non-compliant, because there's no audit trail. Who changed what report? What happened last month? Why aren't we seeing the same numbers, differently? So again, if we could take that same process and automate that, then you lose the fact that you lose all those errors, you lose all the manual manipulation, but you also gain a lot as well too. So now you've got collaboration. You've got everybody working from the same source of data. There's also some narratives and commentary that we can capture as well too. So now there's discussion about your financial data as well. So better security, better compliance, and the end result is this: the reports are accessible electronically. So if any data changes, it automatically changes in that electronic format as well too. So one single platform is what all of the companies that we showed earlier, that's what they wanted to achieve. They wanted one source of data that connected to all of those other financial databases. And again, for compliance reasons, for security reasons, for governance, and the collaboration as well too. So just quickly, I want to talk about one of our customers, Experian, who actually presented to a recent Hyperion event, an Oracle Hyperion event. And after they, this is one quote that they provided to us as well too, that it transformed all their reporting processes. Just a couple of the things that they gained after they implemented CXO-Cockpit. First off, they had multiple sources, and that was a lot of effort on their part. They had consolidation systems, budgeting and planning, and they had other product information as well too. So they had to bring all that information in on a monthly basis. On top of that, when we first worked with them, they had over 500 reports. That was manpower that was needed to actually analyze all of those particular reports. What they were able to see after CXO-Cockpit was implemented is that it reduced their time to close. And the reason why is we reduced those numbers of reports that they had to analyze on a daily basis. Plus, we helped to automate all of those systems, bringing in all that data. So it really provided them better control in a central managed system. So with that, again, we're going to be showing you how we enable compliance. But one other thing that we want to offer up to our audience as well too is that we do have a white paper entitled Enabling Compliance, which goes into a little bit more detail about how we see and how we can help organizations to get to that single source, the better compliance solution. So with that, I'm going to turn my time over to Jeroen, and he is going to handle the demonstration at this point. Jeroen.
Hello everyone, thanks Marnie. I will close the presentation and we'll go actually into CXO-Cockpit to show you how this, what Marnie talks about, how this actually look like in CXO itself. So if I open up my web application, and then what we can see is, we see now I go to a report which is called Profit and Loss to see my profit and loss data. And there at the bottom of that report, we can see some comments are entered. So we see, in this case, America entered some comments for my entity, Communications, which is the mother entity of this example. Well, we can also see what the subsidiaries of the Communications has entered as a comment. So we see now United States of America, South America, Europe and Asia, what kind of comments they entered. However, if I want to know, I can also see who modified it as last. So I see myself, I modified it, and now I want to also can see an audit trail. So we have our setting button over here. First I go to my point of view comments. We have our setting button over here, and we have our view history button. If I click on view history, I can see on what date which user have done which action, and I can also have an overview of that. So I can see who have modified my last comment and what he typed in. So over here I have a complete overview of all the comments that are stored in this for this report. What I now can do, if I'm switching to another user, which is USA itself, who has also access to this P&L report, I have to log on because I was not active long enough. So I will log on again to CXO, and I will go to this profit and loss report. And now I want to adjust some comments. However, since they are locked, the only option I have is to view the history. So I can view the history as well to see who did lock the comments. So I see Jeroen locked the comments, and now I will send a message to Jeroen like, hello, I want to change some comments because I need to add something. So then Jeroen can unlock the comments and give the possibility to give some commenting again. So we go back to the administrator, who has the option to unlock comments. So if you click the setting button again, we can here lock or unlock descendants. So I will unlock the descendants. And now the USA user should be able to type in some comments. I have to refresh my browser for that. And now you see I can edit my comments. So now I can make my adjustments over here, save it, and send a message to Jeroen again that he can lock the comments again. So we go back to our communication admin, and he can now lock the descendants. And if we now go back to our audit trail, so we are going to view the history, we can see that the text has changed and that it's locked again. Now, how can we apply security on that then? We go into the designer for that. To be able to access the designer, you need to have admin rights. In this case, I have that, so I can go into the designer and go to the security part. Over here in the users, you can in the user part you can set security. So if you go to the users, you can see which users are added into this application. We have only 4 at this moment, which is USA, Supervisor, Marketing, and Jeroen. So those are the members who are have access to CXO. What we then often do is that we set security on user groups. So now I will change from users to user groups and show you how the security works over there. So we have an admin group and a marketing group and the Z-base group. The Z-base group we use for general security. So over there we say, for example, if we don't want to show year 2013 anymore, what we do is we will hide 2030 from the Z-base group. We attach the Z-base group to the marketing group and to the admin group. So both for all the users who are attached to the admin or marketing group don't have the option to see 2013 anymore. Well, if you now look into the marketing group and I click on this edit button, I can give that group some permissions. So over here I can attach them to a group, which is be the Z-base group for the security, and then we can have a look into the permissions. So here we can allow this marketing group what he can do on the commentary section. Over here you see the comment options the marketing group has, like viewing the history, editing comments, locking comments, or unlocking comments. Well, the view comments history is that you can see the audit trail. You can also prevent users from seeing the audit trail. The next option is the edit comments. Yeah, that gives you the right to actually edit some comments and give some commentary on the different reports where you have access to. Then another user can have log rights. He can log all the comments for its own entity and all the entities below his entity, so his descendants. And then you have also the unlock commentary section. That person, what I just show you, is able to unlock the comments. So you can really differentiate on those 4 roles for the commentary section. Then another thing, the point of view filters I showed you, there you decide what a user can see. So here you can, for example, make sure that a user, in this case this marketing user, can only see all the entities below United States. So he has not access to the comma communications where the admin user has rights to. And the last part you can do for your security is the reports. So this marketing group only have access to the reports that are in the menu item product, sales and portfolio. So if I open that one, you can see all the reports that are attached to that menu item, and to that report he has access. If I say I don't want to give him access to the sales by region, I untick this box, and then that report is not accessible by all the users that are in the marketing group. If I save my changes, it's immediately effective in CXO. Now I've created a user which is called marketing as well, and I attached him to the marketing group. However, this user called me and he said he can not only see the sales report, but he can see all the reports. Well, that's a mistake, but how can I find out what has going wrong? For that we have an audit trail on our security settings, so we can easily see how did we attach any user or user group to what rights. Therefore we can go to our export usage data. If I now choose to make an export of our audit trail from the date 33rd of November 2016, I will export it, and it gives me an Excel sheet with all the actions that are undertaken earlier. So now I will, you see here, for example, my last security action was that the group marketing has no longer access to that report. So what I now want to do, I want to search on the security. So I will see all the security settings done. And over here I see already user marketing became a member of group admin. Yeah, that's a mistake, because now he has all the rights the admins has. So that user can do more things than we should allow him. So now we have to make this mistake correct. So I go back to my user group. And I click on my marketing user. And there I see that he doesn't have any rights, so I give him rights to marketing. Then we have to check the user itself. And there we see that he is member of the user group admin, so that's not correct. So we need to correct that one. Over here we give him access to marketing, and now he should only be able to see the marketing provided reports. So this audit trail gives you really the option to see what has going wrong, and so you can be compliant. Next to that, as I showed you, you can do that via the history. You can see who commented on what and how to maintain those things. This was my demo for the compliant part. If there are any questions, please provide them now, so we will try to answer them.
Okay, so we have one question from the group, that they have multiple sources of data that they are reporting from. How exactly does this solution really work?
Yeah, if you have multiple sources connected to CXO, it's no problem, because this audit trail is really dealt within CXO itself. So that means that however you have connected, for example, your HFM source as well as your S-based source, then it doesn't matter for the report itself, because the audit trail is done within CXO and not based on your source system. The data you see in the reports is of course from your source system, but the audit trail not.
One other question, can we see the dimension from the origin? And just 1 second, I think let's try that one more time. We're trying to read that question. Apologize.
The dimensions, it depends on which source system you are. In case, because the question is, can we see the dimension from the origin and are the dimensions automatically loaded? Yeah, this is important because it has to deal with which source system you are on. In case you are at HFM, we use a so-called integration adapter, and that means there you tick which metadata you want to bring over and which data. So you select all your metadata members that you want to bring in, and you select all the years and scenarios you want to bring in, and periods of course. And then we can create an incremental load set, which then gives you the option to automatically pick up when there is a change in HFM. It will automatically be effective in CXO. So an end user will not see any, it will experience it as a direct connection. Then with Sbase, it's a bit different because there we have a direct connection. So any change you make in Sbase, that's automatically effective in CXO. So if you update your metadata, the metadata will be also updated in CXO. And depending how you create your reports, in that way the reports will also be automatically updated. If you base your reports on your source system dimension members and you make a change in those members, then your report will be automatically updated.
Excellent.
Another question is it possible to connect with BPC2? That is indeed possible. We are able to connect to Sbase, TM1, BPC, HFM, Tagetic. I think that are the main sources we are now connected to. However, we are very fast with creating source system connectors. So in case you're doubting if your source system is able to connect to CXO, just reach out to us and we will provide you a solution.
One of the questions we have as well too is that I have other sources of data that is not necessarily in a financial system, but it's in my ERP. Can I upload that data into CXO-Cockpit?
Yes, that is possible because we have a so-called data warehouse adapter, and with that data warehouse adapter you have the option to load some additional data into CXO. We don't touch your original source system, but what we do is we create an additional source system, and with that source system you have the option to load some HR data or some extra sales data which is not available in your source. So what we do then, we create a separate metadata hierarchy, and with that metadata hierarchy we have the option to load some data. And of course that data you can combine with the reports you are already having in CXO, which are based on your original source system. And since we can combine multiple source systems within one report, we are able to show both data in one report.
Also, one other question on the commentary. Do you have inline commentary?
Yes, indeed, we have the option to do inline commentary because how that's I can quickly try to see if I have a report with that to show you how that works. We can give comments per line item. So over here you see a report, and with that report, as last part you see a comment box. So here you can edit and give any comment you like just by start typing it. And then the comment is in that report. And if you print this to an actual paper, this comment will also be taken into account of the print.
What are the advantages versus business objects?
Well, I'm not really expert in business objects, but what I often hear is that it takes some time to create reports in business objects. It is very difficult to really create the reports you want to have. And with CXO, I can create, once I have the correct lists created, and then I can create reports within minutes. Next to this, the commentary section really is attached to the reports. So this means that each report can have its own comments. Next to that, you can create booklets, which you can use for your monthly reporting. And with those booklets, you can have also comments attached to it. So you can store the comments to a booklet or to a report itself. Next to that, I think business objects has a lot of maintenance where you have to do. And with the CXO, since we pick up directly over the metadata from your source system, you don't have to do any maintenance on there.
Excellent. It looks like, unless anybody else has a question that is still on our webinar, we appreciate everybody's attendance. We, again, will send out a link for this recording and also make available our white paper as well, too. Thank you, everybody, and have the rest of a good day.